What's up, guys? It is Thursday, January 9th. Yesterday was our fifth losing session in a row to start the year. We played about 8 hours and lost about $715. Nothing big, no big pots, and we just kind of bled away, lost a few 3-bet pots here and there, back and forth swings. Our peak was up only on 300, and then we just went on a cold deck to end the night. But unfortunately, I was not able to capture any of the hands because our app made it to the Apple Store yesterday, so it was a big milestone for us, and I had to dedicate a lot of my time to it. If you watched my last vlog, I added a trailer to our app at the end. So I think because I will have to dedicate a lot of my poker time at the table to working on my app and possibly discussing it with some other players there, and I also have to do a lot of the mental training and everything at the game, that I may for now eliminate the card showing part, and then as things get more smooth and efficient, and I start to be able to define a system more to make production more efficient and quickly, then maybe I can add it back in. But for now, we just keep things to physical motivation training and discussion on metaphysics and metagame to help shed some lights on the poker knowledge and life knowledge. So let's hit the gym first. Okay, guys, so it's time for some contemplation time. So let's go back to what we talked about in yesterday's vlog, perception. So when we develop perception, where does that take us, right? Like, we're able to see things more, but when I say see things more, what does it exactly mean? Well, let's just say, when you're able to see things clearer, you're able to see the nature of things. And when you're able to see the nature of things, it's discernment. You're able to discern the nature of things and tell the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, positive and negative, wholesome and unwholesome. So when you're able to discern the nature of things, you're able to see the truth. So let's take us to the poker table. A lot of people don't know when they make a mistake. How do you tell in poker when you made a mistake? When you could get paid for doing the wrong thing and lose money for doing the right thing. And no one's going to tell you except you. So only you can be the person that's honest to yourself and be able to tell yourself that you made a mistake. And in order to do that, you have to be able to be perceptive and be able to discern information properly. Because if you perceive an information incorrectly, then your discernment is incorrect. You cannot see the nature of the truth of things because you did not perceive the truth, the actual what actually happened. So when this happens in poker, it causes a negative chain reaction because now that is your foundation for everything. And then you start building your logic and assumptions and everything based on this incorrect discernment, right? Like people, you hear all the time, I was scared of this. Well, their fear has no base because back then when something happened, they probably made the right play and lost, and now they are unable to discern that they made the right play. They assume that the loss meant that they made the wrong play. So it caused fear, and now all their plays are based on that. And it's hard to correct that now because where did you start discerning your errors, right? So if you cannot tell these simple rudimentary errors at a poker table where your world is confined to 9 people and with a very systematic game, right? So even in a small game like this, people's ability to perceive and discern is very low. And then you can see what happens to your mindset as the error persists and escalates. So how does that, obviously you can see how it translates to real life. Because if you can't tell what you're doing wrong and no one's going to tell you, then you end up hurting yourself and hurting others, hurting the ones you love, right? You don't know what you do. You don't know that you don't know. And that's the very first stage of learning, the unconscious incompetence. So you have to get past that part, and you got to realize I know that I don't know, because then you can start learning, and then you can start perceiving, and then you can start discerning. But if you assume that you already know, then you stop learning, and at that point you will never discern and you will never perceive because you are already fixated. You already have a path, and you're not open to information and truth anymore. So everything that we talk about is very practical and systematic, and you can practice it, and you should practice it because you should always continue to improve in life and get better. If you stop learning, you stop growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no one of those things in the spot. You just don't know that you're dying yet. But so I encourage everybody to if you play all the poker players to use the opportunity at the poker table to start practicing mindfulness, right? And then you can go from there. So you can see the path that we're going, and we'll get deeper into it as we go. So have a nice day.